In the last lecture, we have discussed unitary operators and we have seen some important properties of unitary operators. Today we will define an isometric operator and we will prove some important theorems on unitary operators and isometric operators. Now we have a theorem which states that let H be a complex Hilbert space and T be a bounded linear operator on H. Then the following statements are equivalent. Statement A is T is unitary. Statement B is T is onto and inner product of Tx and Ty is equal to inner product of x and y for every x, y in H. Statement C is T is onto and norm of Tx is equal to norm of x for every x in H. Let us prove this theorem. First, we shall prove that statement A implies statement B. So let T be unitary and we want to show that T is onto. So take an element y in H as T star is a mapping. T star is Hilbert adjoint operator of T. So this is a mapping from H to H and so T star y is an element of H. Let us denote T star y by x. So there exists an element x in H such that T of x is equal to T star of y, and since T is unitary, so T star is equal to identity operator. So this is equal to I of y and I of y is equal to y. So we have shown that for each y in X there exists an element X in H such that T of X is equal to y. Hence T is onto. Next, we have to show inner product of Tx and Ty is equal to inner product of x and y. Inner product of Tx and Ty is equal to, by definition of Hilbert adjoint operator, this is equal to inner product of x T star T of y. And since T star T is equal to identity operator, so this is equal to inner product of x and I of y. This is equal to inner product of x and y for every xy in H. Hence, B holds. Now we show that statement B implies statement C. Let B hold, then T is onto and inner product of Tx and Ty is equal to inner product of x and y for every xy in H. If we take y is equal to x, then we have inner product of Tx and Tx is equal to inner product of x and x for every x in H. And this implies that norm of Tx whole square is equal to norm of x whole square for every x in H. And this implies that norm of Tx is equal to norm of x for every x in H. So C holds. Next, we show that C implies A. Let C hold, that is T is onto and norm of Tx is equal to norm of x for every x in H. Then norm of Tx whole square is equal to norm of x whole square for every x in H. And this implies that inner product of Tx and Tx is equal to norm of x and x for every x in H. And using the property of Hilbert adjoint operator, so this implies that inner product of T star of T of x and y is equal to inner product of I of x and x. Here we have replaced x by I of x since I of x is nothing but x for every x in H, and this implies that inner product of T star Tx and x minus inner product of I x and x is equal to 0 for every x in H. That means inner product of T star T minus I of x and x is equal to 0 for every x in H, because inner product is linear in first order movement. And we know that if H is a complex Hilbert space such that inner product of Qx and x is equal to 0 for every x in H, then Q is equal to null operator. And so here operator is 0. That means T star T minus I is equal to 0 operator. This implies that T star T is equal to identity. And we mark this equation as 1. We shall show that T is 1, 1. Let x and y be in H such that Tx is equal to Ty. Then Tx minus Ty is equal to 0, and so its norm is also 0. That is, norm of Tx minus Ty is equal to 0. This implies that norm of T of x minus y is 0 because T is linear. And since we have assumed statement C, that implies that norm of Tx is equal to norm of x for every x, and since x and y are in H, so x minus y is also an element of H, and so norm of T of x minus y is nothing but norm of x minus y, and so we find that norm of x minus y is equal to 0. And this implies that x minus y is equal to 0, that is x is equal to y. So we have shown that Tx is equal to Ty implies that x is equal to y, hence T is 1, 1. So we have shown that T is bijective, and so we can say that T inverse exists. As T inverse can be written as identity operator I into T inverse, and this is equal to, because we have from equation 1 we have I is equal to T star T, so we can replace I by T star T. So this is equal to T star T into T inverse, and this can be written as T star into T inverse because composition of functions is associative. So we can write T star into T inverse, and since T inverse is inverse of T, so this is identity, and we find that this is equal to T star. So we have shown that inverse of T is the Hilbert adjoint operator of T, and so we can say that T is unitary. Now we have a corollary which states that let H be a complex Hilbert space and T be a bounded linear operator on H. Then T is unitary if and only if T is an isometric isomorphism of H onto itself. T is an isometric isomorphism means T is bijective, T is linear, and T is an isometry. That means T preserves norms. So here we find a condition for a unitary operator. Let us prove this corollary. From the previous theorem, we know that T is unitary if and only if T is onto and norm of T of x is equal to norm of x for every x in H. So here we note that since T is a bounded linear operator, so it is given that T is linear. T is onto, T is an isometry. So it remains to check whether T is 1, 1 or not. For x and y in H, if we take T of x is equal to T of y, then norm of T of x minus T of y is equal to 0. But since T is linear, so this is equal to norm of T of x minus y, and since T is an isometry, so T of x minus y is equal to norm of x minus y. And this is equal to 0 means x is equal to y. So whenever for any x, y in H, T of x is equal to T of y, then we find that x is equal to y. That means T is 1, 1. So T is 1, 1, T is onto means T is bijective, T is given as linear, T is an isometry. So T is unitary if and only if T is an isometric isomorphism. Now we have a definition. Let H be a complex Hilbert space and T be a bounded linear operator on H. Then T is said to be an isometric operator if and only if norm of T of x is equal to norm of x for every x in H. That is, T is an operator, it is a bounded linear operator on a complex Hilbert space H and T preserves norms, then T is said to be an isometric operator. Now we have a theorem which states that let H be a complex Hilbert space and T be an isometric operator on H. T is an isometric operator on H means T is a bounded linear operator on H and norm of T of x is equal to norm of x for every x in H. If T is not unitary, then we have to show that T maps the Hilbert space H onto a proper closed subspace of H. Let us prove this theorem. We know that actually we have proved this result that T is unitary if and only if T is onto and norm of T of x is equal to norm of x for every x in H. And it is given that T is an isometric operator. So, norm of T of x is equal to norm of x for every x in H. But if T is not unitary, then T is not onto. So let image of H under T is equal to M. Then M is not equal to H because T is not onto. So image is not equal to the range of the function, and so M is not equal to H. Now we observe that M is a linear subspace of H because for x and y in H, T of x and T of y are in M. And for any scalars alpha, beta, alpha into T of x plus beta into T of y is equal to T of alpha x plus beta y since T is linear. And since alpha x plus beta y belongs to H, so T of alpha x plus beta y belongs to M. So we have shown that for any T of x and T of y in M, alpha into T of x plus beta into T of y belongs to M. So M is a linear subspace of H. And since this is properly contained in H, so M is a proper linear subspace of H. It remains to show that M is a closed subspace of H. So let Y be a limit point of M. We want to show that Y belongs to M. And since Y is a limit point of M, so there exists a sequence Yn in M where Yn is equal to T of Xn for every n belongs to the set of natural numbers n, such that Yn converges to Y as n tends to infinity. Mark this as 1. As T is isometric for natural numbers m and n, norm of xm minus xn is equal to norm of T of xm minus xn because xm and xn are elements of H, and so xm minus xn is also an element of H, and so norm of xm minus xn is equal to norm of T of xm minus xn, and this is equal to norm of Txm minus Txn as T is linear, and this is equal to norm of Ym minus Yn as sequence Yn is a convergent sequence. So it is a Cauchy sequence whereby norm of xm minus xn is equal to norm of Yn minus Yn converges to 0 as n tending to infinity and m tending to infinity. And this implies that sequence xm is a Cauchy sequence in H. And since H is complete, so there exists an element x in H such that xn converges to x as n tends to. As T is an isometric operator, so it is a bounded linear operator on H, and so it is continuous. And uh, as xn converges to x, so T of xn converges to T of x as n tends to infinity. And this implies that yn, sequence yn converges to T of x as n tends to infinity. Mark this as 2. From 1 and 2. In 1 we have yn converges to y, and here in 2 we have yn converges to x. So it follows that y is equal to tx, and tx belongs to t of h, because x belongs to h, so t of x belongs to t of h, and t of h is nothing but m. So we have shown that y belongs to m. We have taken y any limit point of m, and we have shown that y belongs to m. That means m contains all of its limit points. So M is closed. Thank you.